Hello, welcome to Boardroom AI, where we unpack the latest AI news for you busy business leaders that don't have time to scroll through all the news. We do it for you together with our very much valuable opinions. My name is Maya Schaefer, I'm co-founder and CEO at Zawi. We have Maciek, our co-founder as well, and Jeremy, our head of product. And today we'll be talking mostly about Google and their latest conference, Google Cloud Next. I had a chance to participate and listen to all the news, and we'll tell you about the most important news from the business leader perspective. I have allergy. I think Jeremy also have allergy, so you have to forgive us for a little bit different voice today, as well as a little bit of sneezing. But hopefully everything will be okay-ish. Amazing. Thank you so much for being with us today. The conference was absolutely amazing. It's been, I think, the biggest conference that I've ever attended. So many people and so many break rooms, like so many news, so many stages. It's crazy. I strongly recommend to participate next year. To be honest, pretty hard for people with panic attacks because the number of people was literally crazy. I have some photos that I made of the line to the keynote. It was terrible, to be honest, but you really can't judge considering how great the content was. And we had many news that Google announced, many AI news. To be honest, the entire conference was about AI agents. You could hear AI agents everywhere, all the time. Every stage was about AI agent. Every news was about AI agents. So AI agents literally everywhere. I think one of the most important. Okay, let's not talk about it like what was the most important. Let's just talk about one of the most interesting news announcements made by Google a few days ago. So first of all, we have Google Workspace new features. Many, of course, AI-powered features that are now available in Google Workspace. We are proud users as well, so I have a chance to test it. One of the things is data analysis in Google Sheets, audio overview in Docs. Audio overview in Docs is basically you can generate a podcast from your Google Docs. So let's say you work on some kind of report, you can generate an audio overview of your report and send to some folks in your organization so they don't have to read it. What do we think?
I think that the conference sounds amazing, first of all, but you're right that it sounds a little stressful considering how many people. You and I have that in common with reacting with stress to many folks. And if it comes to the changes made to Google Workspace, I tried them out, a few of them, and played with the toolkit released by Google. And I think in some cases it's useful, in some cases it's not. Maybe I'm also used to certain workflows that I had, for example, with Claude or ChatGPT. So, the interface that Google presents within the workspace to conduct certain operations feels a tiny bit more limited to me than the interface that I already know from the other tools. Still, though, I think they are getting better, and it also gets more, I don't know if you noticed this as well, but Google gets more forward with all the releases. It's like if you go into interface of Gmail or Drive, the pop-ups announcing new Gemini features are almost every week something new comes up, and I think that's a good change. The spreadsheet feature was helpful. Tried it, not in all the cases. So yeah, I think it really depends on a small use case kind of. And a podcast generated on a document sounds like a use case no one's gonna really use, or at least listen to.
I think they just wanted to use voice and just like it's the feature for the sake of creating a feature. But do we think that Google is really going after work AI? There are so many startups already like tackling this problem You see my voice. um, Glean, Writer, they want to dominate the work AI space. And looks to me after the conference that, well, Google with Gemini for Workspace really want to get into this and dominate it. And I think they have everything to make this happen. Like, I don't know what are the stats, how many organizations, what is the percentage of organizations using Google Workspace, but I think many. And they already have, it's pretty sticky. Like, we use Gmail. Most of the companies, I believe, use Gmail, at least modern companies. So they already have a chance to upsell us. They don't even have to upsell us Google Workspace because we already kind of bought it. So they just plug those features into our workspace, and that's done. Like, we don't need an additional startup to help us implement AI for work. Is it the end of companies like Glean and Writer? Magic?
So I think that, like, you remember we've been talking about this a couple of weeks ago, that like all of these new models, that they are cool and fancy, but without getting them access to our real data, it will be useless. And you're right, like the companies like Glean or Writer, they are growing right now very fast because they really offer the Gen AI on top of your data, so you can easily integrate it with your Slack, Google Drive, Google Docs, everything. And I think that for me, like the biggest announcement from this conference is a Google Agent Space, which is exactly like a replacement for Glean or Writer or any kind of other tools. Like what they really make it finally happen is that and it's available to everyone. So every employee of the company can create their own AI agent with the full access to Google Drive, documents, history, emails, and so on. So this is so crazy because today everyone can just create the AI agent. You don't need to have any technical skills. There is like no code builder. They call it like agent designer, and you can just train your own AI agent. I don't know, from marketing research, for SDR outreach, for like preparing the pitch, for doing the analysis. So something that you used to do with these SaaS companies we've just referred, right now it's built into the Google agent space and allows everyone to build your agents in the secured way, compliant with the data, and that you have it already built in. So I think that like definitely this is the huge risk for this companies, Maya, you mentioned, but like this is what is natural things that will happen, and like of course Google needs to do it, and of course Google is doing this right now because this is the future. Like me being able to build is the AI agent. I shouldn't need to buy a license of the OpenAI and get my security approval, compliance approval from the whole security council. I just have it by default enabled by Google that is compliant and so on. So it's actually crazy. And I think that like everyone, I was reading a lot of comments and everyone is just really, really happy with this agent space because this is finally allows everyone to deliver.
So I also think that Google has one advantage on the market, which is simply the distribution. It already has the customer
Yep.
base. It already has all the compliance. If I want to use, a tool to analyze files, I would have to go through typical procurement process, right? I would have to check whether they're verified with security, just all the compliance stuff, right? Google is available out of the box. It already has all the needed certifications. And unlike, for example, OpenAI, it is fully compliant under the EU regulation without the need for a specific minimum quota or whatever. So it's just so easy and accessible. So I think that while Google is late to the party with certain features and certain functionalities, so many of these companies, like even Superhuman, an email client, kind of built these AI functions into the interface that now Google is slowly releasing. I do hope, however, that it's not going to kill, kind of competition, because actually so many of these smaller companies release and push Google to build these better features. So I will keep my Superhuman subscription. But yeah, it's kind of cool to see and experiment. I think that the problem with Google and them releasing so many things is the same as with Microsoft Copilot. It's like all these releases, 1,000 new features we've released over the last week, and it's just so much you don't even notice them anymore. It kind of feels more like distraction than help. And yeah, I think it's going to take a really long time for people to actually start using these tools.
You're right. Like it's all about, at the end of the day, it's all about the enablement of the different employees. But I think that the most funny fact that whenever you will visit right now the Google Agent Space landing page, they are promoting this enterprise search that you can easily connect it today to, of course, Google Drive, but Confluence, Jira, and Microsoft SharePoint. And like all of the demos they are presenting is like how smart this Google search works on top of the spreadsheet documents or Word documents from the Microsoft SharePoint. So, like, they're really showing that, hey, our technology can be a wrapper on any kind of data you have. And it's exactly like what the other tools are already doing. And as you said, Jeremy, they maybe are late to the party, but it's natural, but it should be like the native experience.
Yeah, I 100% agree that, first of all, with Jeremy, that there is a lot of noise and features for the sake of releasing features, like this, podcast from your document. It's useless, really. But that's why we are talking here today about it. And I think really the most important thing is what Maciek said, like this release about AI in your Google Workspace is the most important for your daily use case at work, because you can finally use Work AI tomorrow with your current workspace setup, and you don't have to go to your security. Probably you already have kind of done this. So this is extremely powerful and important from the AI adoption point of view, and I'm really excited about it. I feel a little bit sorry for the Work AI startups, because I think, as Jeremy said, they've done an amazing job, and now Google is benefiting from that. But yeah, it is what it is. They also released something that in our space. So they showed a beautiful demo of a conversational AI, customer-facing conversational AI, where a person is chatting, like voice chatting with an e-commerce store, asking about recommendations and even like video conferencing them, showing them their plans and their like what's wrong with them and stuff like that. Many cool things, and people got absolutely nuts about it. They love the keynote. I think I listened to all those keynotes and the main keynotes, and they this presentation got the biggest applause. I know Maciek studied this presentation very well, and we delivered this kind of experience at Zawi too. So curious, like, what does it mean for not work AI, but customer-facing AI? What does it mean for the future of e-commerce? Let's chat about it a little bit.
Yeah, so I think that like if we look at the topic we just covered, which is this agent space, it's something that Google is offering as a native solution for Google Workspace users, so for the companies. And of course, it's like baked, ready to use product. Everyone can use. But everything what they release as a part of the customer engagement suite is a set of tools, mostly APIs, you can use to build your applications. And I think that they released a lot of great tools, cool stuff. Like one of this is like human-like voices. These voices are called Chirp. And if you test them on the website, they sound crazy like human. The quality of the way they speak, the quality, the way they can speech is like translate your text to speech when talking about the addresses and all of this stuff. It's so great. And I think that like everyone should listen to it because it's very natural and it's super hard to distinguish, but it's like AI voice. They've introduced a lot of new AI models for the emotion understanding and all of this stuff that really helps different companies like Zawi to build the fully fully conversational AI agents. And I think that this is like the beautiful part. What Google is doing is that like Google Workspace were focused to deliver the fully baked product that everyone can use. because this is how we do money. And for, we need to remember it was the Google Cloud conference, so they released a set of tools, APIs, that companies like Zowie and different developers can use to build. And I think that like they really set the bar high with this voice, with this quality of all of this stuff they recently released, which is amazing. So yeah, I think that like we shouldn't be worried because it looks like that for the use cases with workspaces, Google is definitely doing the job to deliver by themselves. But like for the solutions like us, which is more customer facing, and we know that every use case is different and requires a special approach, they released a set of tools that helps us really to build better experiences and streamline the experience to the customers.
What I loved about the demo that they showed, which was essentially a conversation between the customer and an e-commerce website that sells plants and services around plants, was the fact that it was fully conversational and based on voice, but it was accompanied by this visual layer of displaying elements
Yep.
that were discussed during the conversation. I think I'm someone who generally I learn and I remember things from looking at them more so than from listening to things. And so I think it was such a fluent experience. And when I was thinking about, when I talk to people from my team, oftentimes actually to illustrate what we're discussing, we're showing something visual. It's part of the conversation. Or you draw something, whatever. And in this conversational experience that they showed, I found it to be extremely fluent and smooth, how the visual elements were complementary to what was discussed. But on top of it, I think, when I was thinking about and watching this demo, I thought about, you don't even need the interface of the website anymore. Like, I could see the future where the website is that widget with this conversational experience. And yeah, I remember talking to you guys almost 4 years ago now about the future of recreating, how the offline experiences, how can we move the conversation with a human from, a garden shop into online. This demo felt like it. It for the
Yep.
first time felt like we're getting close to that vision.
What I would want to add is that like what they did is that they used all of their tools they prepared and combined it in the very, very strong use case that really, I think, opened eyes and minds of a lot of C-level executives what could be possible and where is the bar today. So exciting news to see, and to see that Google is driving this narrative, because this is that's definitely showing, hey, this is the future we all should go in order to achieve and leverage the technology today.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm so excited, especially to partner with Google these days. But there is more in conversational AI and shopping happening right now. Allegedly, Chat GPT, we promised talking about Google, but this is important. Allegedly, Chat GPT OpenAI is planning to release an integration with Shopify today. So maybe if you're listening to this, it's already released. And allow us consumers to buy directly from ChatGPT in Shopify stores. Is it finally a step towards a super app, conversational super app? What's your take on this, guys?
These are the rumors. I think that like we should like this is nothing official. There are some kind of rumors or the matter that it should happen today. I mean Monday. So let's see if it will happen. But like if we need to remember that Shopify has this app called Shop, when you can go and just buy a product from any kind of Shopify customer e-commerce. And if the idea is that OpenAI was allowed to integrate directly with all of the stores, it depends on the experience and depends how consumers will be using. I don't know how many consumers are using ChatGPT today, but yeah, I will be the first one who will test it out and see if this is really something that will help me to buy the product.
I wonder how these, the conversation about replacing e-commerce by conversational interface, I think sometimes is forgetting that shopping online has different components to it. If I know what I want to buy, and this conversational experience is potentially amazing. But if I want to discover, I wonder how this conversational aspect will look like. If I just want to go and browse and get to my best one, of course, I'm sure there is an interface and conversational experience can replace that. But I'm excited to see it. And I think, yeah, I'm just curious to see how much it will be complementary to what Amazon is offering with their AI assistant that gives you advice. So I'm just curious how the interface will look. I think at the end it will either feel good or not, and that's it.
We need also remember that OpenAI needs to monetize everything what they are doing. So
Yeah.
like today, Google Ads allows you to run like today, like you can go to Google search and you can integrate your product feed. And when you're looking for a specific product, like Google will show you like the different offerings and will just lead you. So it's like affiliated to the specific shop. You cannot buy from the Google search, but you can be affiliated and like refer to the specific shop. Of course, you can pay ads to be promoted as a sponsored product. Maybe this is the goal. Maybe they will just try. And the next step will be, hey, you can buy ads at OpenAI because your products will be promoted in our product search. We'll see.
Yeah, it's, I would say, alternative to TikTok Shop. In general, exciting time for e-commerce, I believe. And there are, of course, opportunities and threats, as with everything. Hope to cover this for you guys in a week from now, once it's released, hopefully. But this is definitely exciting. Together with this experience from Google and what's going on with ChatGPT, I think the conversational AI and conversational shopping is definitely coming, and I couldn't be more excited about it. Cool. What else from Google? I think we covered really the most important stuff when it comes to daily business use cases. Okay, maybe one more: agent-to-agent protocol. So Google released their own agent protocol, and what's the future of it? Will we end up with like so many different protocols because every big player want to have their own agent-to-agent protocol? Like, what's the future, Maciek, our tech guru?
Yeah, so I think that like because maybe what Maya is referring to is like we need to remember that a couple of weeks ago, Anthropic released something which is called MCP, which is refers like Model Context Protocol. Now Google is releasing A2A, which is agent to agent protocol. So, we have a protocol released by Anthropic, we have protocol released by Google. It's not only by Google, because if you go to their website and do the protocol, it's backed by many cool logos, by GSIs and so on. So like Anthropic do it by themselves and just building the community. What Google did is like, hey, we selected like 50 different partners, top logos, just to make sure that we have
But
backing
Maciek,
from them.
unpack it for our audience. So, like,
Exactly.
what is what this protocol is all about?
So first of all, they are not competing at all. So
Okay.
MCP, so Model Context Protocol, released by Anthropic. The idea of this solution is like how we can make any existing application, any existing software easily accessible by AI agents. So technically what you can do, if your application, let's say Salesforce, if it implements MCP and offers MCP, then it's a standardized protocol how any kind of AI agent can access the data from existing software. So in short, like how we can make existing software easily available, accessible by AI agents. This is MCP. On the other hand, A2A or agent-to-agent protocol is a future. As we all see what's going to happen with this agent space and all of this crazy stuff, like there will be no one AI agent. Every company will have hundreds of AI agents, and there will be millions of AI agents in the world. So the goal of this agent-to-agent protocol is like, let's set the basis how these agents can communicate. So the idea of the A2A protocol is that like you can have the AI agent talking with you, but it has access to the pool of the other AI agents, and the AI agent that is talking with you, interacting with you, can decide, okay, for this task, I will delegate it to the other AI agent. Or
Okay, Maciek, is it like
task,
REST API for AI agents? Would you compare
I
it to
wouldn't say
REST?
so.
Okay, so why not? Like, what's the difference? It's
I
the way of
think
communicate to interface to communicate, isn't it?
It is, but like this REST API is more like this MCP. So as a REST API shows you how to expose the data to the AI agents. So this is REST API. A2A is more like the structure. I would say more is like I would compare this A to A is like we have a different telecoms today, and these different telecoms agreed how they can interconnect the different phone calls. So this is like A2A, like how different AI agents can intercommunicate. Is it cool? I would say it's really cool because this is set the standards, and if it was gonna be the standard, it will really help a lot of AI agents to be connected and to delegate work between them. But we'll see. If every standard has the beginning, and we'll see what will be the adoption.
Yeah, I mean, we already see it today in conversations with companies trying to implement AI agents, that different teams go about implementing the AI agents in different ways. They maybe use a tiny bit different structure, and standardizing this communication and directing the traffic in an organized way, passing the context from agent to agent, actions, all of these things, they have to collaborate in one way or another. Today, it's one big mess. And I think that those are all timely releases for the needs that over the last months, it wasn't there, and now it's part of every conversation with technical teams implementing AI agents. So it's interesting how, yeah, it's just interesting how fast this evolves. Yeah.
Okay, we'll see. I will report back to you what's going on with agent to agent and what's the progress. But we definitely need standard. That's for sure. So great that Google is taking the lead here because someone big has to do it. Super exciting. And we have one more news for you today. Google quietly added Gemini to Google Sheets. So it's now there is more in Google Workspace now. Maciek, would you like to brief us on what's going on with Google Sheets?
I was waiting for this small stuff for months, and really was worried that it wasn't there. Like you have these functions, and Google Sheets and spreadsheets are all about the functions. So they finally introduced the function that is native, which is like equals AI, and you can just run the prompt. It wasn't possible before, frankly. Say, I don't know why, but like now it's so easy for you to just use Gemini model within your spreadsheet, and you can build any kind of formula. In the past, you had to use some kind of external tools, some kind of external add-ons, export your data, import your data. Now it's natively built in. I have no idea why there is like not some kind of bigger official release. Maybe they are a little, I would say, like um, they want to hide that it took them so long to do it, and now it's just available. But I think that it's so powerful because you can run any kind of prompt in your spreadsheet and process your data with a prompt. So imagine that you have some kind of data structure, and now at every column you can add, hey, look at this data in this way, look at this data in this way. Or imagine that you have, I don't know, the huge spreadsheet with some kind of unstructured data, and you're just building the prompts that will easily convert this unstructured data in spreadsheet to some kind of structured data using AI and Gen AI to categorize your data. So for me, so powerful. I was waiting this for long and already playing and using in a lot of use cases.
Okay, this is cool, but I love AI, guys, like for creative work and stuff. But this is spreadsheet.
It
Can this
is,
hallucinate?
of course.
Okay, so this is scary.
I
It
mean,
can
go on, Jeremy.
depends how much risk are you willing to take, Maya. I think that it probably depends. The hallucination risk depends on how complicated you'll make it to be, or how abstract. In the example given by Google, they ask AI, for example, to, based on the data available within specific columns, to categorize the sentiment of user feedback to positive, neutral, or negative. This is a use case that's, businesses really
Okay,
want.
this is not the spreadsheets things that I think about, right? Like I think, okay, our financial model, this P&L. Like
Then I
I'm not
would
sure if I would
probably
like our CFO to use it.
Yes, a very simple use case for this could be, imagine that some kind of spreadsheet still requires the data, and imagine that like in some kind of spreadsheets you need an input from a lot of different people. So imagine like just simple use case that like there is a sheet that it requires me to put the data, and I can just have at the top the summary what kind of data I'm missing or what kind of data is wrong. And these are the things that I can easily do. So I think that it can help you to summarize the structure of your current data in the spreadsheet, and just instead of you trying to understand all of these thousands of rows, you can have a one prompt that will summarize. And I think that like with the accuracy of Gen AI today, we can still get a really, really good insights.
Cool. But maybe not to calculate the runway or revenue or something, or your salary, Jeremy. Like we don't need to do that, right? Like we better not. For creative and summaries, yes, let's do it. For the rest, I'll wait a few more months or
Yeah, I mean,
years or
I
eternity.
think this is the beauty of it, to me at least, the way I see the use case of it is not, I wouldn't run numbered analysis where you really need to be accurate, but it unlocks something that I call like, qualitative, quantitative analysis. You have a massive amount of data, gone call transcripts or whatever, and you can essentially label everything in a simple way and really extract the data that previously you would have to go manually one by one to actually analyze. So again, we talk about the impact of AI on the workforce and how it multiplies your output. This is a job that you would normally give to, an associate, a junior manager in your organization, to go one by one and label within the structure that you set. In here, you can ask AI to do it. So for me, this is massive because just like Matej said, I've been using 3 different tools to do this job so far. Now I have it available, in Google Drive. So this optimizes a workflow that was already optimized by other tools even further. I love it.
So thank you so much, Google, for making our life easier. We definitely leverage your AI for work. Thank you so much for making great marketing about conversational AI and customer-facing AI agents. What else? We are keeping our fingers crossed for conversational shopping. We see this as a big advancement and really change in the market. And we keep our fingers crossed for agent-to-agent protocol as well. So many cool stuff from Google this week. And we'll see who's going to bring something amazing next week. Thank you so much, guys, and see you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Ciao.